Yo, what's going on, y'all? I'm back again, second time today. Today, I got another thing to present. All right. Another thing, when I'm looking through these trucking groups, this is a good place to get a lot of information. I just got my CDL. I paid for school. I bought a truck. It was 50,000. I bought a truck. So now I'm about to get my own authority. Slow down there. Slow down there. I'm not gonna say it can't happen. I'm not gonna say it's impossible because it can, and it is very possible. Is it likely that you'll succeed? It's not. Unfortunately, it's not. And I'm going to tell you why. In my other video, I mentioned that when you first get your CDL, you haven't been trained, you haven't done anything. People say they're going to get their own authority. Okay. But you're not trained. You don't know what to do yet. You don't know the road process. You don't know skills like how to create a parking spot. You don't understand certain skills. You don't understand that, hey, if it's dark outside, 9 times out of 10, you can't find a place to park. You will get log violations from DOT. You'll get ticketed. You'll get fined. It's just a reality. You don't know what you're doing. You're going in blind. Then when it comes to um, the truck itself, you run a much, much higher risk of damaging that truck, as I mentioned in the last video, because you don't know what you're doing. That's just the end all be all. You don't know what you're doing yet. That first 6 to 9 months, you have the highest likelihood of damaging that truck. It's real. Insurance is going to be higher. Why take that risk? I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm saying, why do you want to? Because I'm thinking about this rationally. I'm thinking about it like this. If you were to get your own authority, and let's say you only got like maybe $3,000 in cash in your business account. You please have a business account. Let's say that transmission goes out and it costs you, I don't know, $5,000. Now you're stuck trying to get another $2,000 so that you could take care of that. You're not going to be paid right away unless you got some type of factoring service that'll get you paid next day or something like that, and they'll take a percentage of your cut. But what if that truck breaks down completely? What if the engine is dead? If that engine is destroyed, you're screwed. 3,000 is not going to cover that. Now, if you were a company driver and that happened, hey, it's not your problem. Reach out to the company, let them do it. Reach out to, or if you leased or bought a truck and paired with a carrier, that's on them. They're going to help you. It's on you, but they're going to help you get that truck up and running because it's in their best interest. Mega carriers do everything in their best interest. Understand that. That's what every business. They're going to do what's in their best interest. And it's in their best interest to have your truck running. So, yes, they will loan you the money, but it's coming out of your statements. And they're probably going to take maybe a 10-15% convenience fee. You want to be convenient. Don't charge me a fee. There's nothing convenient about charging me 10. That's my question. Why do that? Why not hear me out? Learn on their dime, screw up on their dime, learn how to fuel on their dime, learn how to drive that truck their dime, back up their dime, do everything on their dime. Then after you get a year, maybe even two, your insurance is a lot lower because now they know you know what you're doing and you have a good driving record, or at least decent. And two, my bad, you'll have a little more money saved up. So I understand the appeal of being your own boss. Oh, it's great. It's great. But the reason I failed the first time is because I was trying to jump ahead way too fast. All right. I signed a bad deal. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. Stevens Transport at that time, I don't know what they're doing now, but at that time, the lease just wasn't a good idea. It really wasn't. I know a guy right now. I'm not gonna say his name. We're just gonna call him DJ Hootie Hoo. So if you're watching this, you know who I'm talking about. You know I'm talking about you. He's over there at Stevens and he's training and whatnot. I'm sure he's making some decent money, but I bet I make more. I'd be willing to go check for check. I'd be willing to bet I make more. Why? Because I get a better cut. They're getting flat rate miles per load. Yesterday I did a load for $9.50 a mile. $9.50 per mile. Not that little dollar. I will not take a load for any less than $2.50 a mile. That's pushing it. If it's not at least $2.50 a mile, I'm not taking it. Stevens, I don't know what they're doing now, but they used to $1 a mile plus the fuel surcharge, which is usually about 28 30 cents. So basically $1.30 per mile. What are you going to do with that? Meanwhile, over here, I won't take anything less than $2.50. And a lot of these are short runs. Well, it's my connection acting up. But a lot of these have been short runs, 300 miles, and I might make 1,500, knock that out in a day. Meanwhile, for you to make $1,500 at Stevens, 4 gallons of fuel, and a quicker day for me, because 5 hours and I'm done. 300 miles, and I just made 1,500. You can't beat that. Stevens is not going to pay you that. That's just facts. Because they pay flat rate. They don't do percentage. Excuse me. Why should I drive 3,000 miles country for $1.30? It's roughly $4,000. Then on top of that, Stevens charges you insurance. They charge you the insurance. They do maintenance, of course. All of them charge you. But they charge you all sorts of insurances. With what I'm paid for the trip. Then it shows lease payment. At the bottom is what I made after everything was deducted. Stevens charges you out the yin yang. I don't understand why people love to cap for them unless you're training for them. That's how it's set up, because when you're training, you're putting more drivers into their system, and that system benefits them. It's an auspicious move for them to favor trainers, which is why trainers always get the good loads. Company drivers and trainers get the highest paid loads. Sometimes they might give them to they'll give them to contractors because they're not giving you a percentage. They're giving you a flat rate. So it doesn't matter who does the load, the Stevens, they're getting paid. They prefer to give it to the contractor because now that contractor is paying for the fuel. Now that contractor is paying for the damage. That contractor is paying for everything involved with that truck. And all they do is just sit back and maintain the rest of the money. I'm not going to call names, but I saw a load that was with Stevens. That load was from Ottawa, Illinois to Bronx, New York, I think it was. It It was somewhere up in New York. Let me see this. That's it. It was Buffalo, New York. That's 587 miles. Ottawa, Illinois. That's $751.36. Now, if that's the only load that you do there, hear me out. If that's the only load that you do that week, they're going to deduct that $700 truck payment. All right. So 700 comes off the top. They're going to take the bobtail insurance, the collision insurance, all the insurances. Let's just say 200 for everything, all the expenses. Then you deduct your fuel for that load. Let's say you spend, I'll say 300. You owe Stevens $48.64. You heard that right. You owe them. You owe them. Meanwhile, if you do it over here with VL, I've gotten that same load. That load was paying. What's that? Hold on, let me see. $2,700. So let's do the math. 2,700. They take that 20%. So you're looking at 2,160. Subtract your fuel. Let's say that same 300. You're looking at 1,860. Take out your truck payment. You're now left with $1,110. My truck payment was $750, so you know what the number that I deducted. You're looking at $1,110. But with Stevens, you would owe them money. That's strange. Why is that? But if that load paid the same, let's assume it did pay the same to Stevens. Let's assume they paid the same amount. All right. Why are you still owing them money? That's what I want to understand. Out of $2,700, and you do the load, and you pay the fuel, and you pay all the costs, why do you owe them? How much was that? Why do you owe them $448.64? Why do you owe them that? So 2,700. Yes, they paid you a little bit, 1,340, but then they took that 440, so you're looking at 1,700. So basically, they got the entire load, and you got to do another load just to break even. Just to break even. When at VL, I would have made $1,100 by now. It's been times where I've only had one load on the check. Times I got to get home. Got to see my kids. One load on the check. One load. Stevens, that would have cost me money. Here, hasn't cost me a thing. But it is what it is. Okay, I haven't heard anything. Nobody's loaded me yet. I've been here for a while. Oh, wow. All tandems must be slid to rear before going through the gate. Okay. Empty trailer side tandems and open both doors. Okay. 15 miles an hour speed limit. Okay. Disconnect from the trailer. Wait for a green light to reconnect. My light never turned red. That's for one. Restroom keys are at the south gate. Urinating or defecating on our lot will be reported to your dispatch, and you may be charged with public indecency. They not playing. They not playing. But it is what it is. do that anyway. I got an image to maintain. You feel me? Anyway, why? Why would I Stevens when I know I could get a better deal elsewhere? I've had weak check with VL. I'm not even gonna lie about that. I'm not gonna cap. One load, the load might have paid $100, but that was just for one load, one day, maybe a day and a half. But you're not looking at a whole trip. Why? Stevens is a ripoff when it comes to that. I'm just gonna keep it real. But anyway, I've said enough. Path a lot. I use that app all the